With soil, water, sunshine, and a little bit of love brings the fruits of labor. As a home gardener, I anticipate spring, not just for the warm sun on my face, but to start anew and watch my vegetables and flowers grow all summer long. I find it rewarding to plant and care for the food I get to cook with and share with my friends and family. Much like gardening, teaching also brings the same rewarding feeling of growth and development. Planting the seeds with a new group of students and watching them flourish in my classroom. I'm Danielle McCracken, and this is my Capstone project. My teaching philosophy is divided into 3 categories. The first is my Family Consumer Sciences classroom. My classroom content is as diverse as my students, which allows me to take the opportunity to get to know the same set of students year after year in many different classroom settings. I have found that it is important to me to value each student's differences, getting to know them individually, bringing their uniqueness into my classroom content activities. This also allows me to differentiate not only by skill level, but by interest and passion. The second part of my teaching philosophy is the adult classroom. Adults come to the classroom with a very different set of skills and needs. They have more life experiences than their younger counterparts, hold both intrinsic and extrinsic motivation for learning, and they are able to transfer the knowledge and experiences of new content, often having the opportunity to apply it directly to current employment. The third component of my philosophy is the use of technology in all of my lessons. Because my classroom content is not only centered on technology, I have found it imperative to embed technology tips and tricks through demonstration in my lessons to increase each lesson's value. I have the students practice using different platforms and tricks in my assignments and projects. In the first course, Pedagogical Practice and Instructional Technology, we focused on understanding how technology standards, or ISTE, 21st century skills, 21st literacy standards, and our own content standards, in my case, the National Family Consumer Sciences Standards, impact a lesson. Through the exploration of the Technology Integration Specialist career profile, we examined how technology impacts teachers, classrooms, and the school as a whole. As a technology integration specialist, it is important to understand how technology can impact lessons, help connect materials, and can be implemented as a part of a building initiative. I have chosen a standards matrix not because it is a tool that I continue to build and utilize while lesson planning. Serving as a quick reference guide, it also demonstrates my understanding of how standards are connected and overlap with various content. This is the professional development session that covers 21st century skills, ISTE, and information literacy. It specifically introduces to teachers text-to-answer, DIGO, Padlet, Schoology blogging, and hot linking. This session is designed to introduce and give students or the teachers an opportunity to play around with the different tools. The first thing that this session does is have teachers self-identify where they are with technology as far as comfort level, and then we have them use the text-to-answer system through modeling, and then they have to go through and access the ISTE standards website using DIGO and save the website for later, and then they have an opportunity for independent practice. And again, they'll use my DIGO account, they'll create their own DIGO account, and then they'll also use Padlet to be able to use in their classroom. And then they have a little bit of homework at the very end, is they join our class on Schoology, which is provided for us as a district. The assessment here is having the 3 linked standards from my website using DIGO onto their Padlet. In virtual collaboration and communication, we focused on the successful implementation of technology platforms into the classroom. Most importantly, how to set parameters for students to set them up for success when using the internet. For me, it became essential to teach students about their digital citizenship that they participate in every day. As a heavy user of internet in my classroom, I help students explore why they use the internet, understand the permanency of their identity, and set clear expectations of use in my classroom. To showcase my learning and teaching, I have chosen to share my digital literacy or digital citizenship syllabus and corresponding assignment. This document is the digital citizenship syllabus that I use with students. It starts out with digital etiquette, communication, literacy, covers access, commerce, digital law, digital rights and responsibilities, digital health and wellness, and digital security. It then goes on to cover the Internet Acceptable Use Policy, which is a combination of my classroom policy, the district policy, and as well as the school policy. It defines acceptable use. It outlines the expectation for use of personal technology. Of course, covers what unacceptable use is determined as, violations and sanctions, and then has the parent and the student agree. The digital citizenship assignment in this case is a bookmark. Students have an opportunity to explore who they are online, how they want to be perceived, and write an oath to help guide their online decisions. In instructional design, we discuss the aligning of standards to evidence outcomes with rubrics and specific guidelines that assist teachers in a clear vision of what needs to be taught and how. This has been reflected in my practice by helping me develop better rubric writing skills and identify the end result before I start my daily lessons. This has defined what I teach and how I teach it. Aligning the standards with the rubrics and daily lessons, I am able to keep focused and hone my teaching. I have also seen growth in my ability to write concise, unit, and daily objectives using both standards and goals. This is a screenshot of the table of contents for my backwards design unit. We examined our community through external forces, internal forces, impacts on our classroom, our audience, the standards, assessments, and goals, and then designed tools to help us track progress and examine student growth. At the end, daily objectives and assignments were very clear. I have also chosen my tracking tool for this unit. This tool will be updated on a feeder spreadsheet that will help a teacher keep track of the learning progress through the whole unit. As students progress through the training, the table will automatically change colors to easily identify students that need additional teaching. The focus for both multimedia in the classroom and integrating technology into the classroom was not only to use technology as platforms for learning, but to explore how the teacher can use tools for efficiency, reflection and growth, and through assessment. Tools like Poll Everywhere and Excel workbooks can help a teacher collect, look at, understand gaps and growth set data, and direct further learning. From presentation tools, sharing platforms, and creation tools, we explored 3 types of programs: computer-based, internet-based, and open source. Understanding how different classifications of platforms can be utilized in the classroom and can be modeled into the individual teacher and student needs. We utilized software that included office programs, types of internet browsers, design programs, and video production programs. Online tools included Google Drive, presentation products, wiki sites, visual design programs, online learning games, browsers, and social media, as well as exploring open source programming. From multimedia, the artifacts that I have chosen are the visual data sample that allows me to input student testing scores and GPA to quickly understand focus groups for reading and writing, and a closer look at my student agreement for the use of cell phones in my classroom, as they are an essential part of our everyday lives. From integrating technology into the classroom, the artifacts I have chosen include the use of Marzano and technology programs and platforms, and a sample of a co-taught and co-planned lesson with the technology integration specialist. In the 21st century classroom, it is important that a teacher provides an opportunity for students to access outside content outside of classroom time. Students are reliant on the internet for schoolwork more than ever. It is important for teachers in the 21st century classroom to have a well-written website to house content, assignments, and activities for students to reference. It is also important for the school and district to provide a home website where teachers have a strong platform to utilize, whether it is a CMS or a proprietary software. I have chosen an infographic explaining why teachers should have a classroom web presence and a few samples of work that I have coded using Dreamweaver. From roots to results, starting with who I am as a teacher and ending up with who students are and how they're knowledgeable in my curricula and tech savvy. Through leadership as a technology integration specialist, there is so much to share and teach with fellow educators, and with a bit of guidance, they too will be seeing the results of the planted seed of technology.